Cello, cello, cello! I am Miss Jennifer Pink, and I am the CEO and founder of Thumbprint Collective. And I want to talk to y'all today about launching. Like, can we have an honest dialogue, conversation about launching? Launching is probably one of the most important things that we need to do as entrepreneurs, as business owners. And if I'm just going to be honest, it's probably the number one thing that I see people don't know how to do and do horribly. Like, let's just be real, right? So, sidetrack before we get too deep into it. If you've never seen me before, if you stumbled upon this video and you're like, who is this lady with these locks on my screen? Let me let you know. So I am, again, Miss Jennifer Pink, affectionately known as J Pink. I am the CEO and founder of Thumbprint Collective. I pride myself as a true mom, please capitalize the mompreneur, one that has really dedicated my life to providing resources, information, and support that inspires and empowers, especially my melanin mothers and entrepreneurs who are on their journey. As I built my business over the last 10 years, I discovered a true axiom of sorts that the road to everyone's individual success lies within their own personal growth. I am affectionately known as the growth coach. Like, I am serious about helping people grow to their maximum potential and ability. I realized that the brand I created in the beginning, way back in 2003, that feels like a lifetime ago, of my journey is essentially the same brand that stands today over 10 years later. Because this is a brand that captured exactly who I am in my full authenticity, which made it easier to grow as I grew, right? And I've had a nonprofit, I've had my coaching business, and now I run Thumbprint Collective, which is an LLC, which has, I think right now we're about 1099 contractors, and next year, hopefully some of those people will become full-time staff. Right? So we are on the fast track of growth. I'm all about creating sustainable businesses that can truly make an impact in our community by any means necessary, right? So let's get back into this conversation. First questions first. What is launching, right? Because I have literally been in Facebook communities, been in networking, been at networking events, been in groups, and just having conversations. And people always say like, oh yeah, I launched this or I launched that. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, so what process did you use, or what systems did you use, or how did you go about that? And then they get like this, what are you talking about look, right? And so first and foremost, like, let's just get clear about what is launching. Launching is the process that you go through to release a new product or service to the market. Launching is not, under any circumstance, putting up a Facebook post or a picture on Instagram saying, hey, I now do this, or hey, we got a new this, come buy it. That's not launching. Like, under any circumstance, that is not launching. And unfortunately, I am finding that that is what a lot of entrepreneurs think launching is, right? For a long time in the entrepreneur community, we would say, like, just start with what you have, just start, just go, perfect it later. And all those things are 100% true. But in that process, we can't just throw something out in the world and see, does this work? Like, I mean, let me backtrack that a little bit. We should definitely put something out there to see if it works. But if we're deciding that this is the thing and this is what works, right, and this is what we're going to go with, you can't just throw it out there and say, come buy it. Because 9 times out of 10, people are not going to come buy it, right? So when it comes to launching is about planning, strategy, funnels, ads, and graphics. And like, if we're going to keep it real, most people are like, that's too much. Like, what is all of that? Do I have to do all of that? How do I do all that? And the truth is, yes, you need to do all of that. Not one of these things work without the other. Like, that's just the bottom line truth. when it comes down to it, if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what the big goal is and what the steps to get there is, if you don't have a plan of how you're going to take your customers through the process, you're not going to be successful. So many times I see people, they create a product, they create a service, they create a course, and it's like a $2,000 price tag, but nobody knows who you are. Nobody's checking for you, boo. And honestly, I'm not shelling $2,000 out to somebody I don't know. Right? Like, that's just not gonna happen. We think that we can skip the know, like, and trust factor and just go to, here's my high ticket offer, buy it. It's not gonna happen. So that's first of all. And then there has to be a strategy, right? Like, there has to be a marketing, emotional, psychological mindset game that you're taking your customers through. They've got to feel like they have to have this. And again, you can't take them from 0 to 2,000. Like, there's got to be a process, right? A biggest thing about strategy when it comes to launching a product or service is the pre-launch, right? So that's creating a bunch of content that it directly goes back to whatever it is you're about to launch, but has people gets people in a mind frame that has them believing, I've got to have this. I got to have this now. Right? And that's a big thing. And we seem to forget that part, right? Because they may need what you have. They may even deep down been talking about it and wanting it. But if they don't know that you're the person that they need to come to get it, they're not coming. And then when you put it out there, they're not going to buy. So you've got to really train them to do what you want them to do, right? And then that goes into the funnel. Like, there's a process that we take people through, right? So whether they come from email, whether they come from social media, they go to a certain place, and then there's a series of emails, there's a funnel, they're seeing ads at certain point of this funnel to get them to the point where they want to buy, and buy now, right? Not tomorrow, not a year from now, but right now, right? That's what this all boils down to. Like, that's what we've got to make happen. And so that's really what a launch is, right? Like, at the end of the day, that is what a launch is. But there's a lot of things that I'm hearing from people, right? That they relied on someone else's strategy and it didn't work for them. Well, there's some basics that go along in strategy, but every strategy has to be tailor-made to the product at the end of the day, right? So there's some basic and there's some guidelines, right? And then I'm also finding, and this is kind of funny, that most people are trying to pick up on someone's strategy based on what they gave away, like in a free webinar, or like in a video like this, or what they're watching them do on social media. But number one, they probably don't know marketing. So they're not even realizing when the strategy started. That's step one. And step two, they're missing some key pieces because nobody's going to give all that away for free. Like, that doesn't make sense. We're all in business to make money at the end of the day. So if I give you everything for free, what are you going to come back for? Right? And so we've got to just know these parts, right? We got to know these things. The other piece is that they maybe have pieces of launching in there, but it seems like people are kind of still not sure, right? So maybe they opt in for the freebie, maybe they're engaging with your post, they're asking questions, but you're not making your stance clear enough for them to jump over the maybe and jump over the fence and buy that thing, right? And then there's this whole question of, I'm not about to spend all this money on ads or, this, or hiring somebody to do this or that. And there's no end results. Like, I'm with you. Like, I feel you. I'm not doing that either. Like, not gonna happen. Like, never gonna happen. Right? And so that's why we have to be clear in the different pieces of launching. Right? So what we've tried on all of our customers is, first of all, why are you launching? Right? Let's figure out the why so that we can create this irresistible offer that people want. Right? And sometimes it's not what you think it is. Sometimes it's something else, or sometimes we've got to go around this thing in a circle to end up where you want to end up. We got to create a timeline. Like, there has to be, okay, so we're going to start on this day. The goal is to launch on this day. And then this needs to happen. You got to get clear with that timeline. Then we've got to develop the message, right? So we know what this irresistible thing is, But the copy has to match. Like, we have to have clear, concise copywriting that speaks to our ideal customer, right? Not everybody, because everybody don't want this thing, but speaks directly to that ideal customer that then makes them go, you're talking to me, I want this, I need this, I'm ready to buy this, right? And then you've got to have that launch infrastructure, right? And that's the part most people are like, oh, I don't want to do, right? And we're talking about that landing page, that sales page, those graphics that convert, right? So not just having a landing page or a sales page, but that stuff that converts people to actually buy. And then, like I said before, you got to master the pre-launch, right? There's got to be that content that gets customers on an emotional journey and so involved that when you say, hey, look what I got for you to purchase, they're like, yes, I've been waiting on you. Where have you been? I don't know about y'all, but that's what I want my customers to say, right? And then you've got to know how to use ads, right? Because let's just be honest. If you're using Facebook, Instagram, and you're not using ads, not boosting posts, I don't recommend that, right? But if you're not using real ads to drive traffic, can we just be honest right now? Like, people are probably not even seeing that post. The way the algorithm was, last set up that we could see, it was like 4%. So that means 4% of the people that you thought could see this post, because let's say you have 1,000 followers, 5,000 friends, whatever it is, right? So 4% can see that. So that dwindles your number down, right, significantly. That's not enough, because we know it's a law of numbers. Not to mention, most people need to see things. We used to say 7 times, but now we're like almost 10 times before they pull the trigger. 10 times. If you make a post once and barely anybody sees it, the ones that do see it are not seeing it 10 times. So that means that you've got to have at minimum 10 different things for them to see it. Or you can run some ads, and the ads will be constantly shown so that they see it. Then this is the whole piece that everybody forgets, and it's the post-launch. Right? So that's after you've launched it, having this content that is still coming out. So the people that missed the launch, they missed that introductory, they missed that special one-time bonus, are still going to buy based on whatever you got coming out in the post-launch. Like, it ain't over just because you say the cart's open this week. No, we got to keep this going. Like, we got to still do this thing, right? And what else hinders people? We know some of the biggest hindrances are accountability. You have absolutely, positively no accountability. There is nobody that is sitting there and making sure, hey, did you get all those emails done? Because I know it was a lot. Hey, do you have your sales page done? Hey, are your ads set up right? Like, there's nobody doing that as solopreneurs, as entrepreneurs. And it is the biggest piece. If we want this thing to run, if we want this thing to work, right? Like, that's a huge piece. And then the second piece is project management, right? We've probably all got, and I'm just going to tell on myself right now, right? Like, we've got all these pages all around of all the notes we've taken, of all the thoughts we had, and there's not this one place that everything is, where you can see everything, you can see the flow, you don't even have a picture of your flow, like you don't have any of those pieces. And those pieces are extremely important if you want a successful launch. Like, that's just the truth of it. That is the truth of the matter. You got to have those pieces in place if you want a successful launch. So I know you're probably sitting there like, okay, Jennifer, you just gave us all this. Now we know we need all this. And now what? Like, now what are we supposed to do? I got an answer. Right? And that is the Melanin Biz LaunchPad Bootcamp. It is our answer, Thumbprint Collective's answer to your launch problem. It is something that you can literally use over and over and over again. You don't need us every day. You don't need to spend the thousands of dollars that it costs for us to launch your product or service. This will give you everything, and we're going to take you through it in a boot camp for 7 days to break down all the pieces. And then the added bonus, like this is a bonus, and I got yelled at by my mentor when I said we included this, our project management LaunchPad board. We use Trello. So our Trello board, I'm going to give it to you with all the different steps, the basics that you need, and then the questions that you need to generate your specific launch. All of that, right? So let me just pull up my screen share so you guys can see this, right? So what we created is the Melanin Biz Launchpad Bootcamp. This is literally everything that you need to launch your next product, service, even a business, right? And it's a step-by-step system. It's a step-by-step process. Plus, the bootcamp is going to give you access to us, the team of experts that you need to make this happen. So let me go right into it. So be honest. When it comes to planning, strategy, funnels, ads, graphics for your launch, y'all know y'all be feeling like Monique. This too much. Like I can't do all this, right? And a little birdie told us that you're a get to the shmoney business owner, but you need a little reinforcement for your next launch because you rely on other people's strategy and cookie cutter trends to get your products into your customers' hands. And every strategy, it works on a fundamental level, but you've got to create it so that it works specifically for your business. Your audience is still on the fence about you and your offer, and you need an irresistible message to flip those maybes into point blank periods. And while you're not afraid to invest in your business, you're tired of chump change returns and you want to launch smarter with a proven strategy and a team of experts that make it possible for you to run your biz without running through your ends, right? Like ain't nobody got money to just waste, to throw away, to just keep trying to see if this works. And now you feel all out of time, all out of tricks, and feeling some kind of way about an online business you believed would be the key to your wealth and freedom. And let me just stop right here. I want to share a little bit about one of our clients, and that's Tracy of Black Authors Rock, right? Tracy has an amazing platform. She's got, I want to say, at least 10,000 people in her network, Black authors, people who want to be authors. And when we started working with her and we got to the back end of everything, it seemed like everything was just kind of all over the place, right? And so I asked her to just tell me so that we could use it, right? What working with Thumbprint has really done for her. And so she said, before working with Thumbprint, I would launch new products and services sporadically and inconsistently. Thumbprint has been able to take my ideas by the reins and strategically fulfills my vision to completion with so much ease. She used to say, this is way too much, right? When people said plan your launch, and when they talked about funnels, but thanks to them, I have a rinse and repeat formula to use over and over again. Right? Like, whose business is she in? How many of you are sporadically and inconsistently quote unquote launching those new products and services, right? And so the 7-day boot camp is going to take you through everything you need. So day one, why are you launching? Let's develop an irresistible offer from an idea to implementation. Day two, let's create a launch timeline. Pinpoint the starting point and outline the customer journey for your audience. Like we've got to, if you're not clear, they're not clear. Day three, let's develop the message for your explosive offer. Let's talk about how to craft a message dripped in so much value so you can sell to serve with confidence and authority. Then we're going to create your launch infrastructure. We're going to learn how to create those landing page, sales pages, and those branded graphics to convert your leads, right? Then we're going to go into mastering the pre-launch. Remember, I talked about that. Learn how to master your pre-launch content so your customers stay ready to pay, right? So it's not like, oh, what you got going on? But there's this content that's making them know I need this. And then when you say, here it is, they're like, I need that. Here's my money, right? And then we're going to go into those smart ass ads. We're breaking down Ad Manager Almighty so that you can make smart investment in your launch's page strategy. And then on day 7, we're talking about what most people don't talk about, and that's the post launch. We'll show you how to skyrocket your launch into a long-term success. Let's bring those customers in over and over again. Let's not redo this whole process, but how do we make it happen constantly and automatically, right? What are you going to get from being in the boot camp that you normally wouldn't get? Accountability, daily accountability exercises that help you track your launch literacy, and our exclusive community. Get closer to your goal with a group of business owners that understand where you are and the experts to answer all your questions you have about our daily topics, right? And then what's the bonus? Remember, I said this in the beginning. Our LaunchPad, and that's actually a picture of it right there. Get our tried and tested launch manager to keep everything in one place and always in view. Nothing will slip through the cracks again. No more finding those pieces of paper. No more trying to figure it out. It's all right there for you to see and for you to just keep going. And who are you going to be working with? So not only just me, the strategist and marketing expert, the CEO of Thumbprint, not also my team, my graphic designers, my experts, all of our assistant, everybody on the team, but you're also going to be working with Ashley Little, who is our culturally competent wordsmith, and Laveda Thompson, who is our kick-ass ads boss. That is who we go to for any type of ad work. Setting up ads for all of our clients, all of that goes straight to Lavada. So these are people that we're working with. These are people that we trust. And this is exactly what we know you need to launch like a pro. So go ahead and click that link. I don't know if it's up, down, to the side, wherever you're viewing this, and let's get started with the Melanin Biz Launchpad Bootcamp.